Perfect. This is Nicola from Kali Yoga, and you're joining us with another episode of Yoga Stories. And today I'm talking with Gary. Welcome, Gary. Thanks for joining us.
You're welcome. My pleasure.
So, how do we start? Maybe you can just tell us a little bit about where you were, what you did in your life, and how you got into yoga.
Well, let's think. I was always active in logging, and then I went into construction. So you're always moving, you're always hard on your body. And then when I retired, I found I wasn't doing as much activities as I wanted. I was still working, but not doing the things that makes you more flexible.
Yeah.
And I was feeling like I was getting stiff in all my joints. So at that time, you were in the old community hall.
Yes, in the community center, exactly.
And
yeah.
doing the rope thing, and I helped you and Gord set up the scaffolding.
Mm-hmm.
Then I was asking about yoga and what there was available, and you said you had the one Thursday evening class. So I came, and that was 10 or 12 years ago, and I haven't stopped. I miss the odd one, with kid stuff, but
you're pretty regular.
Well, I try to be. So it's helped me a lot.
Mm-hmm.
In just keeping mobile. It's like if you don't use it, you lose it.
Yeah.
And I've had both shoulders operated on, wrists erect, and
knee as well.
Yeah, new knee. I'm kind of bionic. Yeah. And so all the moving and the I guess the stretching and keeping the muscles active has helped. Even though I'm still working and doing stuff outside, I don't stretch. And I wouldn't do it at home. I wouldn't sit down and say, I'm going to do some yoga today.
Yeah. I
have to have a place to go where it's structured and you show me what to do, and if I do it wrong, you say, no, do it this way. And then I also only do what my body tells me to do, because certain things I can't.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
But it all helps. And even the days when I don't feel like coming, when I come, I go back home and I feel good about it.
Yeah.
So it's all positive.
When you think about when you started, because did you do yoga before in your younger years ever?
No.
No. So when you thought about, as you said, about retirement age to try it, remember what idea did you have about what yoga might be and how it could help?
I watched it, I read about it, but I never took the time.
Yeah.
And I've taken some Pilates with my daughter.
Yeah.
But then they moved their studio and quit, and it's quite similar, like Pilates, yoga.
Very much similarities, exactly.
And I got benefit from all of it. So this is close, and everybody, I call it geriatric yoga, because we're old, but we're not geriatric. I think it's the age is just in your head.
I think it's just the geriatric element, as you call it. But probably it's just the fact that we allow some adjustments, that it doesn't have to be a certain way to the perfect pose, the maximum stretch or whatever it is. It just allows those adjustments for different days that we have, or there's very often something that aches and hurts, and to give ourselves space to accept that.
And I do like that you ask everybody what hurts, and everyone has something different. And then you do some exercises that help that area, or maybe take, I don't know if it stretches muscles around areas that
Mm.
it just eases whatever is wrong. So
I don't know exactly what I mean. Yes, some things can certainly be helped. I sometimes, as a teacher, find a little bit the challenge that often people come, expecting that kind of healing. But yes, I can certainly give some stretches, some useful things. But I'm not a physio. I'm not a doctor.
No.
So. Yeah, it's sometimes tricky because people expect that nowadays to have that therapeutic healing thing. And the truth is, I have no idea what's going on in that shoulder. I can focus on shoulder-related stretches, but it's not that I know exactly what's going on and can heal that.
I think it gives us. I find it works. I find that helped that area. Because you're not focusing on that shoulder. You're focusing around that whole kind of area. And I think you don't put not an onus, or you're not pushing that area. You kind of work around it.
Yeah.
And it helps me.
And maybe it's actually part, not so much the actual pose or stretch, but maybe just the awareness, because that for me as a teacher is important. Instead of telling you should move that shoulder that way, rather trying to guide people to bring more awareness. Okay, then how does it feel, and do you need to adjust? Can you move that? And if not, maybe a slightly different, and with that allowing the practitioner to explore yourself what works and how far, where's your limit.
Yeah, I do. Try consciously now at home. It's taken me years to do a little stretching, but not that much. I do it all here. I wish I would have started 30 years ago.
Yeah.
But I think guys are. When I was younger, the older guys used to say, "Don't do that. You're going to hurt yourself." But I'm invincible, and you party all night and then work hard all day. But you're not taking care of your body.
Yeah.
And I wish I would have started taking care of my body a lot earlier, and been doing this, because it would have helped me. I think. Well, you watch athletics, and everybody goes and they stretch before they run. Well, we never did that. We just went out and worked.
Did you find that, especially in those rather male-orientated jobs like logging, construction, especially 10, 20 years ago, I don't think the awareness, the attitude was there that, that's not a manly thing to take care of your body and be cautious and do some stretching before you go on the job site.
It wasn't, employers never put any onus on that.
Yeah.
I think now they're doing that a bit more because they found worksite injuries are less when people stretch before they start going to work.
I'm sure it would, but I honestly doubt that in those particular professions like construction, because there's a lot of companies that offer yoga for their employees, but in those very male physical jobs, I don't think that's happening yet.
No, it doesn't.
Which is too bad, because I agree that would be so helpful, especially for those jobs, to prevent injuries and to actually increase productivity.
Yeah, I know. Construction. Yeah, no, you just go at it and you just fly at it and push. Logging is different now. It's more machine oriented. In the 70s, it was all much more physical.
Yeah.
But you're young and you got lots of energy, and you want to burn it off. Now I'd like to have the energy, but it's not there anymore.
It's changing. Let's say that it's changing slightly. I mean, you are really one of the most active guys I know in sports, renos, fixing things, building things. You're still doing it every single day.
Yeah, but I say to the kids, I can't wait till I retire, but I retired 15 years ago.
I don't think you're ever gonna be
No.
that guy that retires sitting on the sofa watching TV.
No, but that's why I come here,
Yeah.
is to be able to do what I want to do.
Yeah.
It helps.
Is there any particular aspect maybe of yoga or any particular exercise or pose or anything where you think that that is what mainly attributes to what helps?
I think breathing, big one.
In what way?
Slowing down, I can slow my heart rate down. I can relax, which I couldn't do before, and now you learn how to breathe deeply, get rid of all your air, take bigger breaths, slow things down, just focus on, leave the crap behind and try and focus. I tried meditating before, I can never do that, still can't do it. But here I've learned how to almost do it.
Yeah.
You know, I can, and it makes me relax more.
Yeah, it is a kind of meditation, I find, at least, to focus. You know, if you are able to use the poses in that sense, to really use them, focusing on what's going on, really feeling and observing your body and how can I move, what's my range of motion, what's the difference between right and left. That is a kind of meditation for me.
Yeah, and when I come here, sometimes I get rid of the circus that's going on in my head. Everything's running around and this is happening, and then you just zone in, and it's taught me how to do that.
Yeah.
Which is good mentally, good for my stress level.
Yeah.
Stress level goes down.
Yeah.
So all in all, it's positive.
Yeah. So do you feel that having it, practiced now for such a long time, it does spill over in your daily life? It really affects it, or do you feel the effects more here in class?
It does spill over. It has to, because it changes my way of doing things.
In what way?
I slow down.
Yeah.
I watch how I do things.
Yeah.
And that might come with age, and just because I hurt in things, but I do them differently, and I do try to do I do counter stretching more than I used to before.
Yeah.
So like you say, with every move we do one way, you do it the opposite way.
Yeah.
And balance it out. Things like that I'm more conscious of. Might have done them before, but now I'm more conscious.
More aware of it,
yeah.
And this is what it's supposed to be, this thing. I always feel it's not about so much the poses that we know in class. That's more a reminder, a little practice, but then it should be that you rather apply it when you are standing somewhere, sitting somewhere, or even in an awkward pose doing any work.
Yeah.
I can actually lift up a little bit, have a different posture, more aware of how I position my body.
So a lot of it from doing the yoga all the time, what I've learned is now it comes subconsciously, almost.
Yeah.
Not I guess naturally.
It does, just by repetition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you don't realize you're doing it, but then you think, oh yeah, this is something we did at yoga.
Yeah.
So
And there I feel, I'm completely with you. I feel that repetition is what actually gives you the effects that you don't have to think about. So it's not about the one pose that you learn and practice and that's so good for your shoulder, hip or knee, whatever it is, but more that repetition that allows you to apply it in everyday activities.
Yeah, it's a combination of them all. And after a while it just becomes almost natural, you know, subconsciously you just do it.
Yeah.
So there's things that if I had learned and taken the time 30 years ago, I would probably have benefited a lot more.
Yeah. Yeah, we do what we can and it's never too late, you know.
So I still got another 30 years and
it will continue building up, and who knows, maybe you're getting in a handstand sometime.
one day I'll be able to put my legs up
My
around
feet
over my
behind.
head.
No, it is that continuous practice that I do believe is helpful, especially as we grow older, for balance, to be more steady, to be more aware, and with that hopefully prevent some injuries.
Oh yeah, and it's also social. Coming here, it's social. We see the same people and see new people, and that's
One
helpful.
thing to do, exactly, yeah.
So if I didn't have that, now I get away from doing work at home, so I come and chill out. So that's another positive.
Yeah. Then let's talk about, was there ever a time when you thought, that really did not work for me, or it even just aggravated or hurt, or I would not do that again?
Oh, tough one. I just have to watch things on my wrists I can't do because this one doesn't bend and it hurts. So I don't think there's anything that I don't want to do, but there's things I can't do.
Yeah, and you just modify them.
And that annoys me, that I can't do it, because before I injured myself, I could do those things. But you just change the way you do it, and just do whatever I can. So there's nothing. When I do some things and it hurts, then I go, oh, I can't do that. So you just change the way you try and do it.
But I think, that's really interesting, because also that takes a certain attitude to approach it that way. To not say, I can do it and therefore I don't come. But rather say, okay, yeah, it sucks that I can't do that way, but I can do it maybe some other way.
Yeah, well, because you get some benefit out of all the different stretches and poses, and so just try it.
Maybe you skip one, maybe you do it slightly different, but you still do it.
Yeah.
And that certainly, I think, is also an attitude that you can cultivate that spills over in your life. That then other things you say, just because my knee hurts, I might not run a marathon, but I can still walk a shorter hike.
Yeah, that's right.
And adjust, modify, respecting where your body is at, but not letting aches and pains or whatever obstacles defeat you or define you.
Yeah, I was skiing, and I haven't gone for a couple of years, but years ago I remember being at Washington, and I'm skiing down the hill, and I got passed by a guy with one leg. And he's just going down like crazy, and I'm going...
Isn't that inspiring?
Well, that doesn't... It makes my aches and pains seem like nothing.
Yeah.
And I go, well, if they can do it, I can do it.
And there's always something that you can do, again, with modification. He probably had some modified ski equipment in some sense to do that.
Yeah.
And still, But that is that attitude, and I always wonder how much, once you get into the regular practice of yoga, how much it can actually help not so much with, or as well with the physical pose, is to cultivate that kind of attitude, not to be defeated with I can't, because it always offers some kind of variations and modifications that you still can do.
Yeah, like I have difficulty with my right hip. Going left is fine, but my right hip, I gotta go slower. So in all the moves, I just have to go slow compared to everyone else. They're going, and I'm going, ooh.
And so what?
But if I don't do that, it's gonna be worse.
Yeah.
You know, so you have to just try and keep that bit of flexibility. Even though it's less than the other side, I'm still getting it.
Yeah.
And if I didn't come here and I was at home, I probably wouldn't do that.
Probably not. I mean, you do a lot of other activities, but yeah, I do believe, just talking with several people, it does so much seem to come back to that attitude and mindset of, as I said before, not being defeated with I can't, but doing it anyway, but also learning that body awareness or insight to respect really where you are at, to listen to your body, and with that, figure out for yourself, how far can I move that hip that it's actually helping. I can't push it too much, otherwise I would aggravate it, but I still need to do something to not make it seize up, and where that fine line is.
Yeah, I guess, but everybody's different. I like to go where it hurts, and then I'll try it just a little bit more, because I have to get that movement in my joint, or they seize up. Like in times where I've had operations, if you don't get that, they say go to where it hurts, and then you have to go a little bit more.
A little challenge more, yeah.
Or things really stiffen up. So that's how it works for me.
Yeah.
But everybody's different,
Of course.
And
people are looking for to come to yoga for different reasons. Not everyone is looking for that kind of therapeutic approach. I'm sure there are many other people that go for other reasons, but it is helpful.
Oh, I find it's great.
Yeah.
So I'll keep going till I can.
And
I'll be wheeling in here.
Yeah, exactly. And you know what? Why not? You can still do it then. There's always something.
Yeah.
I said, as long as you breathe, you can do yoga. It doesn't matter if you're doing it lying down in your bed.
Yeah. I've learned a lot. Learned breathing, mentally how to chill and relax.
Yeah.
I guess a lot of little things that you don't realize, they just happen.
And still builds up, yeah.
And develop lots of good friendships, which is positive too.
Yeah. Wonderful. I really hope that you come many, many, many years still.
Oh yeah, it's close by.
It's close by, exactly. Is there a favorite pose, a favorite exercise that you have?
Oh, at the end of the lesson when we just relax.
The Shavasana, yes, that is the best one.
Yeah. Well, in the beginning, just I wish when I sit cross-legged, my hips don't go down. But if the longer I do it, then I do gain a bit. So that I enjoy. It's difficult, I find. But if I don't do it, I'm really going to be worse.
Yeah.
So I enjoy that. It's like no pain, no gain almost, but it shouldn't be painful. But I find I do get a bit more flexibility.
A bit more range of motion, yeah.
Range of motion, which I didn't have. And I enjoy a lot of the poses. Ones up on the wall, I enjoy. I don't know. They're all good.
Yeah.
There's nothing I say I don't like doing. I wish I could I wish I could do the one where you, you just sit up. I can't. Anything on the wrist and
Yeah.
where you move that, I just can't do that. But I
Lots of variation modifications to get the same effects or
Yeah,
similar
just-
effects out of it.
roll over and get up.
Yeah, exactly, and that's okay too.
Yeah. So,
Do you feel that if you think about the expectations you had before you even came to yoga, that it fulfilled more or less what you expected? Was it a bit different what you expected?
I didn't know exactly what to expect. I think your classes, everyone is different, but I think a lot are a little more structured. But I haven't read into the different types of yoga.
Yeah.
But I like the variation here. We have our set kind of stretches to start, but then you don't know what's going to happen.
And for me, it's actually nice if there are people coming in, practitioners with some kind of issues going on, because it gives me a possibility to vary a little bit and bring maybe a certain aspect into the class, which at the end is helping everyone else as well, I believe, even if it's only the one person that had that particular ache and pain. But
that's right, and it makes your brain think.
Exactly.
You go to, because you can become regimented all the time, and then it's I don't think it's not as much fun.
Of course, it is that personal approach that makes it interesting.
Yeah.
And that is as a teacher, but certainly also as a practitioner, I find that at those times when I do have to be careful and modify because something is going on in my body, then at that time the practice from myself becomes more interesting. Because it brings more awareness, it gets you out of that habit, that routine.
So have you found over the years, there's got to be things that you can't do that you used to do?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
You can't stretch as far, you can't.
Absolutely, yeah. Absolutely, no, it changed hugely. I've been doing yoga for 30 plus years now, and I remember in the beginning when I started in my 20s, mid-20s, I liked the physical aspect of it, the stretches, but and yes, there was kind of the challenge, what pose can I do, a little bit more fancy poses, a bit more strenuous poses slowly as you practice, but it wasn't really interesting in a way it is now. Because if your body doesn't hurt ever, if you don't feel your body, you do it to your best ability, but that insight, that awareness is not there when you're young. I didn't have that. I could do a much better, fancier headstand or whatever it is, but those things came easy to me, so it was not a particular insight, practice, effort that I find now more in simple poses. I actually find now that I go much more back to the basics, and there's still some little aspects, little nuances that change over time. Even in the simplest of poses that I must have done literally hundreds of times, thousands of times.
Yeah. Yeah, when you're young, you don't realize you're invincible.
Yeah.
Your body repairs so quick.
Yeah.
Now my body doesn't repair as quick and doesn't come back as strong.
Yeah.
So.
But this is exactly for me what yoga is supposed to be. It's not about that fancy poses that you push yourself into because it looks good, but to not only listen to your body, to become more aware of sensations, but to truly accept that this is where you're at. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with it. It's not worse yoga or less yoga. Quite on the contrary, I think it's much more advanced yoga when you get to that attitude, this is where I am, I know what my body needs, and I'm going to adjust and modify and do it that way. And it might look like nothing like you did it 20 years ago, And still, for me, that is much more advanced practice
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
and more interesting, honestly.
Yeah, well, I guess it's our, the wisdom comes with age.
You would think, hopefully. I hope there will be more wisdom to explore in future
Oh,
practice.
that's right.
Thanks
Always.
Thanks so much for coming in.
You're welcome.
Always a pleasure to chat with you, share your experiences. Thanks
Yeah.
very much.
Fun. And then,
Thank you very much for joining in for this episode. We were talking with Gary, and there will be more to come. So please look out, check in for future episodes of Yoga Stories. Have a good day. Bye.
bye-bye.